All right, second graders, today we're going to start our math lesson by practicing our place value fluency. So I'm going to draw a certain amount of ones on the board, and you're going to tell me how many tens you can pull out, and then we'll say a number sentence. For example, like 10 ones equals 110. So we're going to practice that really quick, which will help us later in the lesson. All right, so I have 12 ones on the board. Raise your hand when you know how many tens you can pull out. Kira, 110. 110. All right, nice job. We can pull out 110. So let's say the number sentence. 12 ones equals 110 and 2 ones. All right, great job, second graders. We are going to practice a couple more before we get started. All right, take a minute to look, and then raise your hand when you know how many tens you can pull out. Teresa.
2 tens.
2 tens. All right, was this how you looked at it?
Yes.
Yes? All right, let's go ahead and say the number sentence. 23 ones equals 2 tens and 3 ones. All right, great job, second graders. We're going to move on, and I'm going to have you guys practice an addition and subtraction sprint. And we're going to work on it for 1 minute, and it doesn't matter how many you get through, it's just to practice your fluency. So take your time and go ahead and solve. All right, second graders, great job practicing your fluency. If you want to go ahead and hand those back to me. Actually, first, I'll have you write names on there so I know who's it's who. All right, thank you guys. Great job. All right, so we're going to switch to our lesson, and today we're going to be working on practicing addition and subtraction word problems, and we are going to use some strategies that help us go back on our place value knowledge, and those will help us solve these multi-digit subtraction and addition problems. So the first problem, I have it up on the board for us to look at. We're going to use the read, draw, and write method. So do I have a volunteer that'll read that for me? Perla?
Don has 34 brownies. He bakes 22 more. How many brownies does he have now?
Thank you. Okay, let's think about it for a second. What could we draw to help us solve this problem? If you have an idea, go ahead and raise your hand. If you don't have an idea, that's okay. But today we're going to practice using a tape diagram, the arrow method, and number bonds. And so for this problem, let's start out by using the tape diagram. So we know Dawn has 34 brownies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a tape diagram on the board for us. And so a tape diagram is a long, it kind of looks like what a piece of tape looks like. So it looks like this, and we'll divide it based on our sections. So we know Dawn has 34 brownies, and so we're going to write 34 on this side. And so I know whose brownies they are. I'm going to write Dawn. And then it says he bakes 22 more. So on this side we'll write 22, and then we'll write more brownies up here. So we know that those are the two parts we're adding together. And we want to know how many he has altogether. So we're going to add 34 plus 22 to equal how many brownies he has. So that gives us a good representation of what we're doing. And then one way to solve is the arrow model. So if we have 34 and we want to add 22, the arrow model helps us add it like in chunks. So we can split up 22 into two easier pieces like 20 and 2. So we'll do our first arrow to our next number. We're going to add 20. And so then we have 54. And then we still have a little more bit to add. So we got to add 2 more ones like that. And that is 56. And then when you do it this arrow way, that helps you can see exactly what you add to get up to your whole final number, which is 56. So, and then number bonds. Forgot to show number bonds. We want to get our total number of brownies that Dawn made. And we know he made 34. And then he made 22 more. And so this model is similar to the tape diagram where you know you have to add these two to equal your total, which is 56. So these are some visuals you can use to help you solve the addition and subtraction problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice one more together. I'll have you guys work together to solve it. And again, we're going to use the read, draw, and write method. And so, Kira, can you read this out loud for me?
Sam has 46 red apples and some green apples. He has a total of 88 apples. How many green apples does he have?
Thank you for reading it out loud. So I'm going to have you guys work together, and you can draw each on your own whiteboard. You can practice making these 3 models. And then when you're all done, we are going to write a sentence together that answers the word problem. So I'll give you like a minute to work. Okay, you guys are all using different models that we talked about. Good job. All right. Great job, second graders. I love the way that you tried out using all the different models. So it looks like we all came up with 42 green apples. So let's think about it. What would the sentence that solves this problem? It says, how many green apples does he have? So if we were to write a sentence that answers that question, what would we write?
Sam has 42 green apples.
Yes, great job, Perla. That answers the question. So Sam has 46 red apples and 42 green apples. So now we're going to move on to a little bit of practice. And we're going to practice this just for a couple minutes. Some of these problems are a little bit trickier than what we worked on in class. So if you get stuck, you can try a different one. I just want to see what all you guys have learned in the lesson today. All right, second graders, that's all the time we have to work on our problem sets for today. We'll work on these again another day. I can go ahead and collect them from you guys. And to close out our lesson, let's do a little discussion. So what were the 3 strategies we practiced today?
Number bond.
Number bonds, yes.
Tape diagram.
Tape diagram. Arrow method. Great job. I like how you all participated. Which of the strategies did you find that worked best for you? Tape diagram. Why do you like that one the best? Visual. Visual? Nice. I definitely understand that.
I like the arrow one because I can break up the numbers.
Break up the numbers. Yeah, that's a great strategy to use, and you can use that a lot in math. Perla, did you have a favorite one?
I like the number bonds because you could see a visual of like pole balls.
Yeah, I like how you guys each had a different favorite one. That shows you that in math there's many ways to get to the answer, and you can just choose whichever works best for you. All right. And to close out the lesson, you guys can work on an exit ticket together. And it just reviews kind of what we learned today. All right, second graders, you did a fantastic job learning today. I'm so proud of the way that you focused, and we will practice more of these tomorrow.